What is up? Welcome to the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, the place where we bring keepers on, chat with them, see what they talking about. We got Lekka in the chat, man. Much love. Iron Dog, Nature's Capture TV. What's up, Dominique? Y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Subscribe to her channel. What's up, K-Walk Constrictors? Shout out to everybody that's showing up, man. I'm super excited. We got a young native from Florida, man. Y'all know him, Pepe, aka Duff Does Nature Stuff, man. Glad to have you here, man. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, man? What's up, bro? It's good to see you, man. I'm glad to be back, bro. I really appreciate it.
Like I like you, but I feel like you a cheater, man.
Cheater?
I feel like you managed to do what a lot of us have done in years. You've done in 2 months. You've amassed a following of almost 20,000 subscribers in 2 months, man. Like that's crazy, man. And we're gonna get into that, but let's just start the show, man. What made you?
Let's do it.
What made you, turn from cameraman to content creator?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, it was all a process, same as getting my venomous hours. It started working for someone who I really looked up to, and accidentally sort of building a following, whether it's from working for Tyler, being in his videos, being good friends with Chandler and Stone, and a few other reptile YouTubers who I would just make appearances to the point where I'm known, I'm pet, like people start calling me Pepe, my Instagram starts growing. I start seeing comments and getting tags and DMs like start your own channel. And for the longest time, I was like, no, I don't really, it's still kind of, all the cool stuff I do is with my friends who already have a YouTube. So I was like, no, I'll just hang out with them, do their thing. But then it got to the point where my friends who are these successful YouTubers are like, dude, you could change your life by doing this. Like you have these people who want you to do it. You python hunt, which is a thing a lot of people want to see. I'm starting to get my own venomous snakes soon, hopefully. So it just kind of built up into this almost having a demand to the point where I felt silly for not having my own. Eventually, you got to just, like Tyler was saying to his buddy say at the tattoo shop, he kicked me out of the nest. I got to learn to fly. I got to go build my own reputation, my own self. So it was a long process I worked for Tyler for 3 years, and that really changed my life. So it's really cool to see and to feel the love that I'm getting in such a short amount of time. It's great.
And you're not messing around with this shit. It's like I've been watching your come up on YouTube. It's like, you'll drop a video and it's bam, 20,000 views. And I was like, this guy got it. He's on to something.
I mean, again, it goes back to even before working for Tyler. I've been watching YouTube videos for a long time. I know what I would want to see. And then after Tyler taught me how to edit, he kind of taught me the ways of YouTube, how it works, how the algorithm works. And again, one thing leads to another. And now all of a sudden, when I start making my own videos, I'm not that I'm a step ahead but I have the experience of editing, and I know what's cool, what looks good, how to make it look smooth. And again, I'm just lucky to know the people I know and be in this situation where it's like you said, it's the reception is, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Like the reception that I'm getting is just crazy. I'm beyond thankful. Like my life has changed in just a few months. It's pretty darn cool.
I love it, man. Now I don't want no humble shit. Like I need you to flex, man. So how does that feel, man? Almost 20,000 in a couple months.
Oh, I mean, dude, Derek, it is humbling, but it is also just like to see. I was telling my buddy Blake, who just moved in with me, my new roommate / camera guy / he's a good friend of mine also. It's really like almost an obsession at this point. Like every day that I get on there and I see the numbers growing, I'm like, cool, I'm doing something right, but I need to grow more. I need more. And it's just a hunger that'll never be satisfied, almost knowing that I'm in a position to do what I love, get paid to do what I love, and potentially actually make a living doing what I love. It's like I can't mess around with it. So like it is insane to see the numbers go up and to see how quickly I got monetized and how much people are loving the videos and the subscriber count keeps growing. It's awesome, bro. It is insane.
Like a lot of content creaters, they jump on the platform, and we're gonna talk about snakes soon. But right now, I want to focus on content creation. I want to talk about content creation. A lot of content creators, they jump on a platform and they shooting for getting monetized, which is cool. But
Yeah, of course.
I'm curious. Do you have an end goal number of a subscriber count? And while you're thinking about that, I'm gonna tell you mine.
Okay.
I jumped on YouTube for the simple fact that I want a creator plaque. I think that once I get that creator plaque, I'll be
Right
satisfied.
on the
So
wall, bro.
yeah, so it's like I think my end number is 100K. Like some people want 1 million, some people want 4 million. I think for me, 100K is if I can reach that creator plaque, I'm good. So my question to you is what's your end goal number, or do you have one?
I'm not sure I have an end goal. I have goals that I want to meet in certain time frames, but I don't necessarily know what my end goal is. My goal is definitely to. This is a bit about money, but more so about being happy. My goal is to be able to work with animals, do what I love every day, share it with the world, to the point where I'm making. I don't really need to be rich, but to the point where I'm making enough money that I'm not worried. I can take care of my animals. I can take care of myself. Maybe take care of my family if I'm lucky enough. Um, but yeah, like you said, it would be so cool to get that plaque, to be able to hold a physical object that lets you know that what you're, other than money, that lets you know that like people care, people want to watch this, it is really, really crazy because, I compare myself to, Chandler and Tyler, who have these, and the other legends who have these big monster channels. But then I sit back and I feel like, dude, 18,000 is a lot of people. And it is so like, I'm taking it day by day. I would like to be maybe at 20K by the end of the year. Hopefully, maybe it's a big goal set, but I would love to be at 100K by the end of next year. Get that plaque. Hopefully, we get those plaques together next time we're talking. We're both gonna have them right behind us, man. So, and I believe in us. Dude. Hey, I'm trying to catch up to you still, bro. So,
Man, that's love. I mean? That's love.
Now, you know what I mean?
That's love, and I love that. I love that. Before we keep going, man, shout out to Grim Exotics. First off, shout out to Dominique Blue. She wants that plaque too. Dominique, I see you getting it. Grim Exotics said, get your paperwork turned in because he has a gift for you. He was wanting to send you a snake.
Yo, Grim, I know I've been seeing your DMs. I think we've talked on Instagram a bit. I have my Viperidae paperwork. I was on the phone with FWC. I just need the physical copy, and then I'm able to get Vipers. And then my Lapidae paperwork should just take maybe another month or two because my venomous room is approved. My hours are approved. I have 2 people who've signed off, so I'm all good. I'm just waiting on the physical copy of my permit, and then I'm able to get Vipers.
Well, shout out to Grim Exotics. He wants to send my dog
a real one, an absolute legend.
He wants to send him some free stuff. So get that done. Now we still talking about content creation, man. Now couple more questions, and then we'll jump into snakes, man. I'll give you a double-sided question. First off, where's the plaque going? Second off, what is your 100K celebration? What do you got planned for to celebrate when you hit that 100K?
Well, the plaque will definitely go in my snake room because hopefully soon that's where I'm going to be doing most of my filming, other than in the Everglades. So it'll be in my snake room, probably next to my Mata turtle. I got a great spot for it, right under my 17.5-foot python skin. I've got the exact spot where I know I'd want to put it. So that's for sure where that would go. And remind me the second part. I'm sorry.
100K celebration, man. What do you got planned for when you hit 100K? What are you doing?
Well, the problem is I set the bar pretty high with pepper spray at 10K. So now people want me to get tased for 20K. I'm like, hey, that hurts. So I'm probably going to do something at 25K, maybe skydive. I don't know. Skydive, maybe. I'm very scared of heights. So me skydiving, people would love to make fun of me. So, and it'll be funny because I'll probably be crying like a little girl. 100K, I would love to do a trip, or maybe depending on what my financial situation is, maybe buy my parents something, buy one of my friends something. We're doing a trash cleanup soon, so maybe we could do a 100K celebration by having kind of a get together to pick up some trash in the glades. But it all depends on time frame, when it happens, what time of year it is, but it will be big. I promise you that. Whatever it is, whenever I get there, it will be something awesome.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. That would be dope, bro. 100K.
I can't
skydiving. That shit's gonna be crazy, man. Now I'm gonna give you a hot seat question, and it's it's kind of a dickhead question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. I don't care. It's my podcast. I'm doing what I want. Now,
of course. That's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about.
Hot seat question.
Yeah.
Who you going with, Tyler or Chandler? No, I'm just playing. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. That's a dickhead question. Don't answer that. I'm gonna reword it. That's a dickhead question.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reword it. You know, in your career, you know, coming up through in the venomous, you know, part of the game, what do you feel like you got from each one of these people? What have you took away from them? What have they taught you? Give me what has Tyler taught you and what has Chandler taught you? I'll reword it.
Okay, I like that question. Those two dudes legitimately are two of the most important people I've ever met in my life. I moved down from Ohio as a subscriber, as a fan. I figured out that I actually happened to live pretty close to Tyler at the time. I shot him a big cringy email talking about how much of a fan I was and blah, blah, blah. I live close to you. I'll work you for free. I'll clean your snake poop. I want my venomous hours, this and that. He responded 2 days later. I was too scared to even read the email. And, you know, I went over to his house, and from the moment I met him, he's just been very excited. Like, I was a Guggen when I first started working for Tyler. I thought I was good at handling snakes. I went over to Tyler's house. I got humbled quickly, and he's been patient with me. He's taught me everything I know about YouTube. He's taught me pretty much everything I know about handling venomous snakes. And so, I mean, it's safe to say without Tyler, I would not be in this situation talking to you, lucky enough to know you and have this following that I have. And then Chandler has just, you know, in the same boat. He's, from the moment that Tyler introduced me to him, he wasn't just like, who's this Guggen from Ohio? He's like, cool, Tyler, like, Tyler's going to vouch for you that I like you. He's always been accepting to me. He's always, anytime that I have needed help, anytime I've needed extra training, like Chandler has taught me a lot about handling, you know, he lets me handle Kevin. He's taught me a lot about extensive handling with the more dangerous animals that, you know, that some people, like that Tyler doesn't necessarily keep. He has Kevin and Shatid now, but Chandler has just always been open arms. He's closer to my age, so there's more of that goofball factor. Like we really click. We have a good time together. He's always, like I said, he's just they've both just been open arms from the beginning. Really helped me with my move to Florida because I didn't know anybody, and then all of a sudden here I am with these two dudes who I used to be watching on YouTube, and I'm like my mind is blown. I don't even know what's going on, and they've taken me from this pale, chubby kid who moved down from Ohio, and now I'm Pepe, and I've got a mustache, and I have a mullet, and like, dude, those two dudes they're my brothers, man. Like, I would kill and die for them. Like, that's the thing people say, but I really mean it. Like, they've changed my life to a degree that is ridiculous. Like, my life right now, I hunt pythons, I hold snakes, I feed my tortoise cucumbers and lettuce and kale, or, you know, whatever I feed him. And yeah, so the two of them have taught me everything I know virtually about handling venomous reptiles, and just about everything I know about creating content. So I know that was a bit of a ramble, but yeah.
Hey, that's all good. That's what it's about, man. We're here to learn about you, see what you got going on, man. Shout out to Lafayette ASMR. He said for 20K you need to do the one chip challenge.
Bro, I got a stomach ulcer. I would, bro. I would.
Grim Exotic is tripping. He said spitter to the face and no goggles for 20K. He's nuts.
Maybe. I've had rank calls hit me before, so maybe I would do spitter. I saw Dingo's video and it didn't look so bad, so maybe I'll do that.
No, that's crazy, man. Don't do that. That's crazy, man. Now, before we keep talking about,
it's for Grim. Grim wants me to do it.
Shout out to Grim Exotics, man. Before we jump into snakes, man, you've been on YouTube 2-3 months. What was your favorite video, man? What was the video that so far has just been that one that you just really enjoyed shooting?
I mean, again, I'm lucky enough to have a lot of fun with almost all my videos. I definitely have certain videos that I wasn't too fond of, but it's better to post something than nothing. So I'd say my top favorite videos are probably my most recent one where Tyler, and I were all at Chandler's house, just being ourselves, goofing around. Another recent video where my buddy Federico and I caught 2 pythons in the water. One was 13 feet, one was about 8 feet. And then I also did some venomous stuff in that video. And then the video where I was at Chandler's house in the enclosure with Kevin, and he kind of came at me a bit, and we were just handling all sorts of, basically a video where we handled all the animals at Chandler's house that scare me was a pretty good video, because it's fun to be in a situation and then get out of it and be like, wow, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I really just not I didn't necessarily do a great job, but I really just handled a black mamba, which is just mind blowing, because that snake is not a snake that I need to be touching necessarily, or anyone really needs to be touching.
Right, mambas, king cobras, anything. It's just like that shit is like once in a lifetime. Like being able to go into a facility and pick up a king cobra, a black mamba. That shit is incredible, man. Like, I'm jealous, man.
It's a trip, man. Growing up watching Steve Irwin, Jeff Corwin, Austin Stevens, all these dudes who, as a kid, you're like, wow, I'd love to do that, but like, I'm not gonna do that. It's a black mamba. It's a king cobra. Like, I'll have boas and whatever. But yeah, so anytime where I get to handle an animal that I've been idolizing my whole life, and then I have my hands on it, it's completely mind blowing. So
I'm jealous, man.
Yeah.
If I could, man, if I had an Uno reverse card, man, I'd mail it to you so we could reverse, bro. You come to Kansas, I come to Florida.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. We can switch every other week, bro. We'll be all right.
I love it, man. Now let's talk snakes, man. We're gonna talk about some of your future plans, man. Are you done? Do you have your license? Are you done training? Are you good to go? How many more hours do you need?
I have my hours, but there's still, like, I'm legally, like, I could turn in my paperwork. There are certain species that even like that I'm not necessarily comfortable enough with to bring into my house yet, even though I am qualified legally. But it's just having it in my own home is just a different thing, where I still want to get more comfortable with, bigger cobras, more aggressive cobras. It's easy. It's a lot easier to handle a Rusty or a Batman for me, who, when I've got less experience than these, like Chandler and Tyler can take out these snakes that are just, they want to kill you and they'll do it on purpose. Or with those bigger, meaner Elapids, I still want to sharpen my skills up. But as far as the Vipers go, I'm ready. I'm just waiting on the paperwork. But like you said, I do have all my hours. I've got my 1,000 hour for each 5 family. I did over 3 years of volunteer work for Tyler. So my hours are there. It's just it's a matter of personal comfort now for certain species.
Yeah, I can feel that, man. Now we all follow you, Chandler, Tyler, and we've seen that, he just had a baby. He's getting rid of a lot of his, snakes that are like extremely dangerous. Don't want nothing to happen to the child, and that's understandable. So
yeah.
Tell us did he have any snakes that you just hated to see go, that you just were like, shit, I hated to see that one leave?
Well, there are certain snakes that are temporarily gone until he gets his snake house built.
Yeah.
So to know that he will get them back eventually, it makes it a little less painful. But Batman and Rusty are my 2 favorite snakes I've ever interacted with in my entire life. Batman being his Batwing, for those, most of you guys probably know, and then Rusty is his King Cobra. He just has such a great relationship with these animals, and they're such smart animals that when I've been lucky enough to be in the room with him handling them, and then lucky enough to get good enough to handle them myself, it's just really cool to actually get to that personal level of interaction with a Rusty or a Batman, a monstrous apex predator that is more than capable of ending your life, but understands that it doesn't need to. So those are my 2 favorite snakes that he has, for sure. But they'll be back eventually, though. They'll be back.
Okay, that's what's up. He's getting them back. That is what's up, man. Now, before we go to the next hot seat question, man, give us, now that you got your paperwork, you got everything done, what are some of like your future plans, bro? Like, what's next for Big Alex?
Well, I try to take it day by day, but I also do have plans for the future. I've got my snake room ready. It's made. It's approved. I'm just waiting to have venomous snakes in it. So I'll probably get, maybe 5. Like, I don't know exactly how many Vipers I'll get right away. I want to get an arboreal setup, an eastern and a western diamondback, maybe another arboreal setup, maybe a more cryptic Viper, like a gaboon or something. But I've always been fascinated with Vipers. They've always been my favorite snakes. Part of it growing up with my grandpa having them, part of it just because being from the United States, that's all we had. But Vipers have always been my main focus. So I definitely want to try to get, a Viper from each continent where they exist, and compare and contrast the different species, and really kind of dive deep. Like I just love vipers. So that's my main goal, is to have a pretty cool viper room with a few elapids.
You need a pair of those Insularis.
Exactly, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like the arboreal snakes, the Insularis, the Mangshans, the Wagler's vipers, eyelashes, the squams, the white lip. Like there's just too, like, I just love vipers. They're just a classic. They look like a dragon. They're just mean looking. I love them. I'm obsessed with them.
I know you at the house. That's what's up, man. I love arboreal stuff too. I don't have nothing venomous, but my favorites are arboreal snakes. Like I love the Amazon tree boa.
You don't want to get bit by an Amazon tree boa, bro. It's not venomous, but that sucks. Those are big teeth.
It's definitely, they got some huge teeth, but that's actually my favorite species. So, man, you don't see yourself ever down, years down the road getting like I know you're at the house right now, but you need a facility, man.
For sure, I for sure need a facility. Again, that goes back to money, though. I just got a house, and that's pretty much where all the funds are going right now. But if I'm fortunate enough to have this YouTube thing really change my life, like I've seen it change certain people's lives, it's definitely going to happen. Whether I get a full blown facility, or whether I will rent a warehouse, or hopefully buy it, like there are definitely bigger plans. But at the moment, I'm just trying to make my house my space. I've got Littlefoot's cage. I've got Bob. I want to put a pond in, an aquascape pond. Maybe move Littlefoot into the pond. Like there's short-term and long-term goals. Long-term, I definitely want to get out of this house that I'm in, get bigger property, join my boys up north. They're, all my friends, they live an hour away from me now. So I want to get up there with the boys, get a property, get some gators, maybe get a kangaroo or something, like that is the goal. But again, I'm trying to take little steps to get to the big goals. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I feel you, bro. I'm jealous, man. Y'all living a life down there, man.
It's a trip, bro. It's a trip, man.
I love it, bro. I love it. Now I want to give you a hot seat question, man. Just to have a little fun, man.
Yeah, of course.
Now I don't know if we all love Snoop Dogg. Now I don't know if you remember back in the day, he partnered up. He did a lot of collabs with Martha Stewart. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Super crazy. It was super fun. He would go on her channel, do cooking. She'd come on his YouTube and do rap videos, and they just did a lot of collabs together.
Legendary,
So my question to you, man, any famous white girl, it's got to be a white girl though. Any famous white lady, white girl, actor, singer, who would be your Martha Stewart? Your Snoop, who's your Martha Stewart?
So not my crush, but my Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Martha Stewart,
any white girl in the industry. Who you collabing with?
I mean, Martha Stewart would be cool, just because she's a legend. I know that's kind of a cheap answer, but like if I had Martha Stewart, Duff Does Nature Stuff with Martha Stewart would be crazy. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I'm not very hip with the famous people. That one lady is pretty funny. What's her name? Jane Lynch, I think is her name. She's pretty funny. I've seen her in some movies. Yeah, again, I'm not great with celebrities, at least in terms of white women, but yeah, like there's definitely like obviously if any celebrity reaches out, I'm probably gonna be like, let's do some stuff. But I mean, yeah, as long as they're not a super Hollywoody person, like I don't like the sellout celebrity type of vibe. So Martha Stewart, she's obviously a gangster. Jane Lynch.
She didn't. Hey, you know why? She didn't. Martha is a gangster. She went to jail and didn't snitch.
Yeah, she's a real one. Got a lot of respect for Martha Stewart. She's a legend.
I love it, man.
Not a lot of the people in Hollywood can live up to her reputation. I'll tell you that.
I love it, man. Now, give me, a lot of people that know you or don't know you. Tell us your current collection right now. What is every animal at your house right now? What do you got? If you're allowed to tell us.
Of course, yeah. It's actually pretty dull right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably the least animals I've had since I was like 16. I've got a northern patternless pine snake who I'm working on taming down, and I don't actually have a name for him yet. I've got a female boa. She's an albino. Her name is Adrian Balboa, Rocky's wife. Pretty cute. I know. It's whatever. I've got Bob, my sulcata tortoise. I've got Littlefoot, who's my Asian water monitor outside in my 8 foot by 8 foot by 4 foot enclosure that Tyler helped me build. Well, basically built for me, if we're being honest. And then I was there just holding the drill, like, all right. And then I've got my 2 dogs, Penny and Susie. keeping it pretty simple right now. My buddy's dog will move in with us soon. He's still in Ohio, but he'll be down here by Christmas. And then hopefully my permit gets here soon, man, because I've got a vision cage ready. I've got another exoteric cage that I'm going to make into a arboreal setup. But at the moment, I'm kind of just saving space because I know that I'm soon going to be in a position where I can get animals that I've only dreamed of. So I'm not trying to fill space up now with stuff I can buy or like without a permit. You know what I mean?
I feel that, bro. I feel it, man. Now, I'm jealous, man. I want to be able to have me an Ancillarius. If I had one of them in Kansas, I'd go straight to prison.
Well, just don't tell anyone, but I didn't say that. I don't know the rules in Kansas. In Florida, you can't do that. Maybe in Kansas, you can.
In Kansas, we can only have stuff that's native to Kansas. So copperhead, rattlesnake, shit that's native to Kansas. The minute you bring a cobra to Kansas, you're gonna be like Tom Crutchfield in prison.
No comment.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, man, you're around such icons, man. You're an icon in the making. Being around Tyler, being around Chandler. Give me like a crazy fan story. Like, and I'll give you an example. Like, I had Miguel, always involved in pythons, come on my podcast, and he said one day he was at a reptile expo, and a guy came up to him and was like, "Hey, let's go get some drinks." And Miguel was like, "All right, after the thing, we can go grab a couple beers." So him and this fan, they were out there drinking beers, and after they get done, the fan looks at Miguel and he's like, "Hey, I got a room upstairs." And Miguel's like, "Whoa, it's not that kind of party." So I say that to say, being around people that, they have followers up 500, 600, 1 million. Give me like a crazy fan story when you, Chandler, and Tyler's out in the public and they're like, "Oh, shit, there they are right there."
Yeah, bro. I've definitely seen some funny stuff with those two because they are basically famous. Like, if you think about it in terms of following, they are legitimately, they can fill half the football stadiums in the NFL with their subscriber count. So they are legit famous. And it's funny you say Reptile Expo because at ReptiCon in Daytona, we were walking around with Chandler and Tyler had a booth, so the fans knew how to come find him. But Chandler would be walking around, and you can kind of just like know when someone knows who they are. Like, you'll see these people, they're like they don't want to go ask, and Chandler, he's just this outgoing goofball, so he'll see him and he'll just be like, so seeing Chandler and Tyler talk to these fans and blow their minds was pretty funny. At CrocFest one year, we had some fans offer Tyler and us certain substances that we rejected at CrocFest, which is pretty bold. I respected it. I did respect it, but it's like, dude, we're doing meet and greet, bro. Like, we don't need any, so, there's certain vibes that we might give off where people think, hey, maybe this guy wants to go skiing with us, but that was not the vibe that we might have been giving it off, but that wasn't no.
I love it, man. Crazy. Could you imagine having a following like that? 500,000, 1 million. No. It's insane.
And it is insane, dude. Like, when you really think about it, like recently I was at a Michigan football game at the Big House, and that stadium holds 110,000 people. And I'm looking out in this 110,000 people. I'm like, wow. Tyler has 6 of these stadiums worth of humans that want to see his video. And Chandler has, 10 or 11 of those stadiums. It's just, I feel so like when I look at my page and I see 18,500, it explodes my brain. So when I think about, and then I'll be like, wait, these guys have, not to down on myself, but like, these dudes have so many subscribers. Like, they gain, it's like the rich get richer. They gain in a week what I have, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even dent them, which is awesome.
And that shit is motivation.
Exactly. And being around them, it's, certain mindsets, you might be like, oh, well, I'll never blah, 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 blah. But like, when you're around it all the time and you see how hard these dudes work, you just like, they're nonstop. Like, it's not like everyone looks at their videos, they're having fun, they're goofing around. People are like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. These dudes are nonstop, bro. Like, and so it shows you just like you, bro, you're nonstop. Your shit's always popping off a podcast or a video or a short, like, and that's what I need to work on, is being a little more consistent with it. But
I appreciate that.
It is cool, man, to see all these people who have worked hard and then now get to live their dream life. it's inspiring, like you said, and it's motivation because it's like it is a reality that is possible for us. So that's what we're aiming for. We hope to get there, though. We hope to get there, bro.
This YouTube shit is a grind, man. But I'll tell you what I would like to see.
Is.
Now that you're out of the nest per se, like Tyler said, I would love to see you and your cameraman travel and do some collabs. And I'm not talking about with Tyler and Chandler. I'm talking about because there's so many icons down there with you. You know, you got Palumbo, you got Crutchfield, you got Cobra Man Ray. You know, I would love to see you travel and do some collabs with them.
That stuff's in the works. You know, that's part of the reason, you know, my buddy Blake, who just moved in with me, I've known him for over a decade. He's one of my best friends in the world. And we've been talking about it for a long time, figuring out if it'd be a good fit, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, the same way when I worked for Tyler, it's easy. Like, it's hard to do it by yourself, especially when you want to travel. Like, I can't be everywhere like this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, because I film with my phone. We're here, it just feels a little less natural than to just be standing next to someone and be like talking to them and it's just on camera. Like, we've already in just a couple of videos with my buddy Blake filming. I really like the vibe of like my buddy and I, Federico, were out looking for a python and Blake is watching us and he's filming us. And it's cooler than me, again, walking around like, all right, like we're looking like I like it feels more professionally made when someone is filming you and you're talking to the camera instead of like taking a Snapchat for 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right. I love it, man. I love it.
So that stuff is in the works for sure.
Hey, Guape, thank you for that $5 super chat. I appreciate that.
Legend.
You know, like I said, man, I think that it would just be awesome to see you hit these facilities, man, because like I said, there's so many icons down there. You're one in the making, man. Now, especially Cobra Man Ray, man.
He is a savage.
Cobra Man Ray, like I've had him on the podcast. He has some stories, man. But since we're talking about these legends, I gotta give you some tough questions, man. Legend status: Crutchfield or Crutchfield, Palumbo? Who you going with?
All right, I am a little biased here because my grandfather was good friends with Tom Crutchfield, so I'm gonna go with Tom Crutchfield because I do like to believe that in a way I wouldn't be here without him. Just based on just how the universe works, him being good friends with my grandpa all the way from Ohio. My grandpa used to come down to Florida and go snake hunting with him. Just, you know, and then he, you know, in turn inspired my dad to love reptiles enough to at least teach me about them and tell me about them. And I was lucky enough to catch that gene. And then I come down and I meet Tom Crutchfield. He's telling me stories about my grandfather and him going herping together before my dad was even, like, just, again, blowing my mind with just the way stuff comes full circle. So, you know, nothing against anybody, but I'm going with Tom just because family bias.
That's icon shit. He just said his granddad did a lot of shit with Tom Crutchfield. That means this reptile shit has been in your blood before you was even here.
Oh, yeah. That's right here, man. It's going through my whole body. I got no choice. I had no choice. I had to do it.
I love it, man. Now, second one. Who you going with? Barcheck or Brewer?
Again, a little biased, but I'm from Ohio, so I grew up but ever since the YouTube has really been a big thing. Like, I've been watching Brian Barcheck since I was a little squirt, you know, and knowing he's right up in Michigan, and then getting lucky enough to meet him at Tyler's house and then meet him again at Animal Con, and not that I have a relationship with him, but have an awareness of who he knows me, I know him. He, I think, knows me. We've met a few times. He knows me. I'm going to claim it. And you know, and so it's like, again, it's not, no disrespect towards the other end of the spectrum, but that is just like, in my growing up in the reptile world, there are certain people that I knew about and looked up to more for a longer time, and then or certain other people that I only learned about later.
Right. So shout out to all of them, man. Crutchfield, Palumbo, Barcheck.
Trying to catch up to all of them, man. Yeah,
icons in their field, man. So shout out to all of them, man. We'll get ready to get back to the podcast, but I want to have a little fun, man. I used to watch the show Jersey Shore, and they used to have GTL, Gym Tan Laundry. And I'm a big follower of you, Alex, man. I noticed that you always at the gym, man. If you're not working with snakes, you at the gym. So you give me your, I don't know what the word is. We'll just make up a word. What is a fucking anagram or whatever? GTL was there. Gym 10 laundry. So what's yours? It gotta have. I figure it will at least have gym and snakes.
All right.
Gym, snakes, and what else?
I'm gonna say GSG. Gym, snakes, glades.
I like that.
I'm either in the Everglades, I'm in the gym with my buddy Blake, because I was a skinny guy. I'm trying to get bigger. I'm getting there, y'all. Come on, let's check it out. But so I've really been focusing a lot on building my physique and being the best athlete I can be. Whatever. Yeah. So like I was born with a muscle disorder. So like for a long time I lived with this mentality of like, woe is me. I have this, but like there's a certain point when you realize it's just about like whatever. I'm gonna just boss up and do whatever I can do. And then again, lucky enough to have two of my favorite activities in the world be my job, which is filming my good friends holding deadly snakes, or going out into the Everglades and filming alligators, fish, bugs, the plants, the birds, the snakes, the pythons. And if I had to add a fourth one, it would probably be O for the ocean: scuba diving, fishing, free diving, boating. Like I said, it's stuff does nature stuff, man. So I'm out there. I'm out in the sun. You know what I mean?
You got to do it though to the three. Keep it like Jersey Shore.
Yeah. So actually, let's say GSO, because snakes and glades kind of go together. Gym, snakes, ocean. We'll do that one.
Gym, snakes, ocean. You got to get that on a shirt and get that patented, like
GSO,
how Jersey.
And then little Duff does nature stuff. Yeah.
And every time you say something, like how they said, Gym 10 laundry, GTLs. Now it's Gym, snakes, ocean. You got to get that patent, bro.
I like that. You got 5% of that. You got 5%. It's your idea, so
I love it.
10%. Let's do it.
I love it, man. I want to show something. Just kind of get your take on it, man. And let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Now you're real big in Florida. Give me your take on this. Hold on, it's uploading right now. I should have uploaded it earlier.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
FWC increased venomous reptile penalties among FWC legislative proposals, man. Like, what's your take on that? Do you feel like, are you okay with the FWC because we need those laws? Give me your take on it. I know this is kind of like a touchy subject, but do topics like this kind of scare you?
Well, I go both ways here. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say I read the bills and I really understand a lot of the laws that are being passed.
Yeah.
And I do think there are certain animals, not necessarily venomous reptiles, because venomous reptiles can and will kill you, and we don't need them living in South Florida. So I don't think it's terrible to have strict laws in terms of. Now, some of them are very strict, and that you can start to touch on that. But I don't think it's a bad thing to have strict laws about venomous reptiles and large crocodilians and other animals that can kill you. But there are certain laws about, certain lizards and certain snakes that aren't venomous that don't necessarily need to be banned. I'm a government employee and I get paid to hunt these pythons, so I'm gonna bounce around it a little bit, but. In terms of venomous reptiles, I don't think strict laws are a very bad idea, but there are definitely animals that are highly almost villainized that I don't think are as big of a problem as other animals that don't get any attention. If that makes sense.
But as far as like with the laws that are coming, I know you're a government contractor, so you pretty much are set in Florida. You're not going nowhere, even if they keep tightening it down. You're still gonna stick around in Florida.
I will be here as long as they allow me to legally own these animals and do what I love every day. If it gets to the point where they're truly, if they're truly actually stopping me from doing what I love and impeding on my ability to create content and live my dream life and be happy with the animals that I love, it's something that I would think about. But at the moment, I love Florida way too much to think about living in another place.
Right. I love that. Now, speaking of python hunting, man, I got to ask, man, I seen that They had that big contest, man. Why you didn't win it, man? I've been meaning it. I meant to direct message you that. I was like, they was like, some guy won it. I was like, oh, that's Alex. That's Pepe. What happened, man?
I didn't enter. It is a week-long challenge in the prime time season of python hunting. And now I don't remember who won this year. So I don't remember if it was a friend of mine or not. But the system that they use for the Python challenge is just how competitive people get and how certain areas get very dense and people just start being shitheads, and I just steer clear. I just have a week where I don't even, because it's no disrespect to the public, but it's open to the public, which just means there's hundreds and hundreds of Googans out there. There's people like, I'm not mad at people trying to catch pythons. It's fun. I love it. But when there's that much incentive, that much money on the line, people's character just kind of comes into question, and I just avoid the Everglades for the week. I go to the places where I have the keys to that no one else will be. I have less likelihood to find a snake, but it's peaceful, because part of my python hunting is it's almost meditation. I can go out there by myself or with one of my good friends who we can just sit there and we just stare at the vegetation for 8 hours and we find some snakes. You know what I mean? Not that I'm not a competitor, but the system that's used isn't really something that I love to be a part of. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just not really my feng shui, my vibe.
So I'd rather not your cup of tea.
Yeah. Not that I couldn't win it, but it's kind of a luck of the draw. Biggest snake is lucky. Most snakes is not lucky. It does take skill, but it also, to an extent, is lucky, because that time of year the nests are popping. So if happens to find a nest with 50 snakes in it.
Oh, they won.
And then again, I could enter. I do like that they do it. I do like that they raise awareness. I love that because it is a big thing. There are a lot of these snakes out there. People do need to know that. But I'd rather watch from a distance and cheer them on than partake myself and get caught up in the heat of the moment and do something that I'd regret, or have someone, disrespect me out there. Not that like, there's just the behavior that goes on in that week of python hunting. Kind of, there's a certain etiquette that the contractors have with each other that doesn't get respected during that week by the rest of the people that are trying to, again, they're trying to win money. I'm not mad at them. They're trying to win money. They're doing their thing. But
what did he win? Didn't he win like 15 or 20,000?
It's a lot of money. It is a lot. I think it's 12 grand for it's a lot of money. And the last year was an ATV and $5 grand. Like, it's a lot. It's so you can imagine these people are out there. They're not messing around. And not that I am out there messing around, but I'm out there at peace, and I don't want to go out there at war.
That makes sense.
No.
Now I gotta ask this, man, because inquiring minds want to know. This was and you're there. This was like such a big story. I fucking actually seen this story on my Google. Like, I literally was like Google.com, and this was the fucking front page. It was Chandler with the sheriff giving him that big ass boa. And, we watch those videos.
Of course.
That boa is fucking vicious. So I gotta ask, man, have any of y'all finally took a bite from it yet?
No, which is actually he might have gotten bitten off camera, but I don't think he has, because again, Chandler, he doesn't get bitten unless he wants to, for the most part. That big snake, I was thinking about it the other day. I was up there filming with his yellow anaconda and letting it bite me, just because people like to watch me get bitten by stuff. And I'm looking at the boa, and it's looking at me like this. You know how boas, they S up and they look real mean, and I'm just like, I got bit by my 4-foot boa, and it really, really sucked. Like, I thought about letting it bite me, but that big snake has been wild long enough that, bro, boas are strong, bro. That feels like luckily I haven't been or seen anyone get bitten by it, but it gives you the opportunity, and it really wants to. It is a feisty. I haven't seen a boa that big or probably that feisty in my life.
Right, I got a red tail boa, and I'm just like, it tries to bite me every time I get it out of the cage, and I'm just like, yep, I'm not letting this thing bite me. And it's just like, but those bite videos are so fucking viral, bro. It's like, I don't know if you follow Nick the Wrangler.
Of course.
But he has a video. I think it's like of an anaconda. I think it's a green one. It's either a green one or a yellow. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
But he has a video. I'm gonna say yellow. It might be yellow.
Most likely.
It was a yellow anaconda. He got bit 4 times, and I think this video got like almost 10 million views.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Dude, people, especially non-snake people, really, really love to see us crazy snake people get bitten by snakes.
Isn't that something crazy, right? Now,
people like to see you bleed or almost die. Those are all my best videos. I'm either bleeding from a snake bite or almost getting bit by something that'll kill me. Don't know why, but unfortunately, that is the truth.
Now I'm about to go home and do a bite video. This is terrible.
Yeah. You just have to be like, you got to make it look like an accident. That's the part.
Right.
Just kidding. We never do anything on accident.
I love it, man. I love it. Now I know you're busy. I won't keep you too much longer, man. But
I'm happy to be here.
I gotta ask. Was there a time when you were getting trained that you kind of felt like, okay, I'm ready now? Like when did you know, like training with Tyler? Okay, I think I'm ready to do this.
There's different levels, because as you remember, that false water cobra used to kick my butt. So the first step was once I was able to, and part of that was I was so scared of the thing that I couldn't compose myself to compose the snake, because that's a big part of it. And then you get to that level where I'm like, wow, I can control this mean ass snake. And then, the first time I free handled Rusty, when I'm really working with the snake, he understands that I'm working with him, was another big thing for me. And then, free handling Kevin was the next step where it's like, wow, I'm really wow. Like I was looking at the videos afterwards and I couldn't even believe that it was me. And then, I still have a ways to go in terms of becoming the best snake handler I could be. But anytime that all the big steps I take, like even holding that black mamba, I didn't do a great job. I really didn't do a great job. But the fact that I handled a black mamba with one hook, got it in and out of his cage, in and out of the trash can. I was driving home from Chandler's house that day, like, look at you, bro. Like, you really just held Kobe the black mamba. I didn't hold him. I handled it. But, again, so every time that I've, any time you hold a snake where you never thought you'd ever touch it is really crazy. And it's not for everyone. I'm not telling anyone to go out and do this, but like, again, thousands and thousands of hours led up to me handling that black mamba. So it is, and, when you get compliments from the guys who you look up to, when you get done with an 8-hour or 5-hour session of cleaning cages with Tyler and Chandler, and you're unwinding after, they're like, you did a really good job today, bro. Like other people would have died and you stayed calm and you handled these snakes. And that's, those compliments mean a lot. Like you just kind of act like it doesn't, but those are things you don't forget people saying about you. Like these dudes that you look up to, they're like, bro, you killed it today. You know what I mean? Like those. So there have definitely been certain moments where I'll be driving home and I'm like, not emotional, but just understanding that like, wow, like this is real. I really just did that. Like, and you're just proud of yourself. So yeah, it definitely happens. And it still happens all the time. I'm still evolving every day.
I'm jealous, man. Well, we've been on here 50 minutes. You gave us almost an amazing hour. I got a couple more hot seat questions, man.
Of course,
but before we do the hot seat questions, the last question, it's kind of cliche, man, but down the road, 5 years, 10 years, where do you see yourself?
5 years from now, I would love to be close to either renting out the current house that I just bought or selling it and upgrading. 10 years from now, I really hope to be on a property either in Central Florida, depending on the way things go with, weather and laws and stuff. I might be somewhere else, but I hope to still be in Florida, maybe more inland, away from the ocean a bit. 10 years from now, I really hope to be on a property. 10 years from now, I'll be 33. I would love to have 10 acres. I would love to have a nice house. I would love to have my dream animals, some bigger animals, perimeter fence, just like my dudes are doing up north right now, just kind of playing catch up. Not that that's a bad thing because I started late, but I would love to have a big property. I would love to have some cool mammals, some birds. And I would love to have traveled the world. That's another big thing, like the main reason I'm not stocking up on animals right now is because I soon really want to get out. Like you said, I have a new cameraman, so I want to get out there, do my thing, travel the world, see all these places that I grew up watching on TV and seeing these animals on TV. I want to be able to take my fans who I'm lucky enough to have with me to these places and, Central America, South America, Europe. And I don't really care to go to Europe, honestly, but Africa, Asia, Australia, Indonesia. World travel. So 5 to 10 years from now, I hope to have traveled the world, seen things I never thought I could have seen, and hopefully be a little more financially stable with a nice property and some really cool animals.
I love that. I love that, Alex, man. Big Alex, man. I wish you nothing but the best, man. You're killing it, man. There's a reason you had almost 20,000 followers on YouTube, man. You're a big dog in the game, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Now, a couple hot seat questions, man. Hot seat question number 1. We all love Kanye. It was a billionaire. He went crazy. Now, my question is, if you were a billionaire, do you think you'd be crazy like Kanye?
Crazy like Kanye? Maybe not. But
a billion.
I will admit this. I will say this. I do believe that he has probably seen corners of the world that we can't imagine. So I don't imagine what billionaires know about the world that we don't, and how things work and the way the government and different stuff operates. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting canceled, bro. But you know what I mean? I'm not gonna. He said some things that are. Yeah. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. I don't. You just got to close the video. Like, damn it, Kanye. I don't know what you're doing, bro.
Well, he's a billionaire. You don't think money can make somebody nuts?
I think money only makes you more of who you were before you had it. You remember that documentary? You remember the documentary about Kanye where he's been filmed. He's kind of always been crazy. Like he's not that being cocky and believing in yourself is crazy, but like that Netflix documentary, I think it was, that came out about him. I watched a few episodes, so I'm like, even before Ye was famous, like he ticked a little differently than everyone else ticks. You know what I mean? So, and then when you add $1 billion to that, it's just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, say whatever I want, and then it's just like, and then you get to where we are now. So,
I don't know. From like, if you were to ask me that same question, I don't know, bro. I think $1 billion, I'd be fucking nuts.
I'm not gonna tell you I wouldn't change, because I would change. Alex, if I had $1 billion, I'm showing up everywhere butt naked. Oh, I mean, if I had $1 billion, I'd poop on the floor and tell people to clean it up. Like, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, I have $1 billion. I'll throw $1,000 at you and tell you to shut up. But like, and the thing is, if someone threw $1,000 at me, I'd probably clean the poop up right now. So I hope I have $1 billion. But
I'm crying, dude.
Hilarious. I agree with you. If I had $1 billion, people would be like, "You need to relax." I'd be like, "All right, but I have $1 billion, so shut up." You know.
If I had $1 billion, people would be like, "Derek's fucking nuts."
And you'd be like, "Well, I have $1 billion."
I love it, man. Next hot seat question, man. Just to have a little fun. We know Jay-Z. He's got a beautiful woman. He's got a beautiful woman, Beyonce. So if you were Jay-Z, who's your Beyonce? Any lady in the world, who's your Beyonce?
Well, hopefully somebody that y'all don't know about yet. But if I had to choose a famous one, there's this. I'm not too. Even though I do have this YouTube, I'm not really too hip with the celebrities, and I don't really ever. I'm on Instagram a lot, but I don't like really know the new famous people. But there are some honeys out there, bro. I mean, I'll see them on. It's a tough question to choose my Beyonce.
Any woman in the world. This is anybody.
It's just such a.
Well, who are you crushing on? Tell us now. Who would be your Beyonce? Give us backstage.
I don't necessarily have a crush. Not to sound cliche, but I'm just really focused on getting after right now and becoming someone that other people will have a crush on.
Yeah.
But
good answer.
You know what I mean? If you look for, I don't know the saying, I'm an idiot, but the point is trying to become my best self before I can worry about someone else coming into my life. But there are some honeys out there that I see on the social media, and I have to block them because you're too pretty and I can't be looking at you right now. So it's like, you're way too pretty. I can't even understand that you exist. So get away from me.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, last hot seat question, just to have a little fun, man. The world, the world is ran on brands. Everybody buys something they want it name brand. You want Nike. Yeah. You want Jordans. You want a car. You want that Mercedes, that Lexus. So if we were to associate you with the brand, what brand would it be?
Well, that's a good question. The brand that I would probably really want to be sponsored by, and I'm probably gonna say the name wrong, so they're probably gonna not like that, but is Cull or Cool, KU with 2 dots over it, HL. They're the pants and the shirts that I wear when I'm python hunting. Mm-hmm. They're the best. They're breathable. They're the best pants ever. I wear a lot of Nike. I'm wearing Nike shorts right now, Nike shoes, Nike socks. I have a Nike sweatshirt out there. That would be really cool. And probably Patagonia. I'm going to finally answer Patagonia. That's my favorite brand.
Patagonia. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Patagonia. Y'all need to sponsor my boy. Duff does nature stuff.
Let's do it.
Subscribe. Everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching that will see this, that did see this, subscribe to his YouTube. Duff does nature stuff. He's a big dog, man. He's doing incredible shit. Go give him a follow, man.
Thank you. Bro.
Hey, thank you, man. You gave us an amazing hour. I appreciate you jumping on my podcast because you didn't have to do it. So thank you for being here.
Derek, I'm telling you, bro, you're the first person to ever ask me to do this. I'll always be here. It's as big as I'm ever lucky enough to get, bro. I'll always be back. I mean that.
Hey, that's love, man. I appreciate you, brother. Take it easy, bro.
You
that's
too,
love.
Bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Much love, brother.
Peace.
Man, what an awesome hour, man. We brung on. We really can't say Tyler Nolan's cameraman no more because he's surpassed that. He's no longer Tyler Nolan's cameraman. He's his own man doing his own thing. So y'all make sure y'all give him a follow. My boy Alex, aka Pepe, aka Duff does nature stuff, man. Big dog in Florida, man, killing it in the YouTube game, man. This is Big Reptile Talk. Everybody that watched, that will see this, I appreciate you for watching. Until next time, man, we out of here. Much love.
Whoa. Big Reptile Talk. Yeah, we working. Talking about service. Big Reptile Talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah.